everybody, welcome back to Two Guys Travel, coming to you in high definition. Now this time we've made it to a pretty amazing location. This is Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Saigon, as the old name is. Now behind me here, you can see the city marketplace. Well, it's a little bit hard to see sometimes because there's just so much traffic. We went in there, Kenny and I, we went in there yesterday to buy some stuff. I think we got a little bit hosed on some prices because later we found out that if we went just down another street here, we could get a little bit better deal. But that place is crawling with foreigners, and it's also stocked with plenty of Vietnamese people who speak enough English to separate you and your money. So you got to be careful there. You really do have to be careful. Now look at the traffic. I mean, this place is crazy. If you just look at this traffic. According to our guidebook, there's about 3 million motorbikes on the streets of Saigon, and all you got to do is stand out on a street corner for about 5 minutes, and you will concur with that analysis. It is true. Anyway, take a look at this madness. It is crazy.
When we first got here, we're like, holy pandemonium. But after a while, it's like you realize that people in Asia drive more defensively than they do in North America. The entire time we were here, we only seen one accident, and that's because some guy crossing the street ran right in front of the motorcycle, so there wasn't really a chance for the guy on the bike to stop.
Hey, here we are coming to you in Saigon again. Now, you know, Kenny and I arrived at a good time. We just got here just a couple days ago. It's the middle of February, and as you can see with the sign behind me here, this is coming up to the Vietnamese Lunar New Year. So we imagine there's going to be some kind of craziness. We saw all kinds of hot girls out last night. Actually, we're kind of wondering where the hot girls are right now. We have a theory that they tend to party all night, and they must all be sleeping right now. They probably don't get up until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But anyway, you can see here behind me, we've got some kind of a garden, some kind of a city park back there. Looks like some New Year's festivities coming up, so it should be a pretty good time. We don't know if we're going to survive. We don't know if we can party that much. We've been partying pretty strong so far, but you never know what's going to happen. Okay, Peter and Kenny back at you. I am now standing in front of the Reunification Palace. And Kenny, what was the old name of the Reunification Palace?
Independence Palace.
And anyway, this is a pretty important landmark in terms of the Vietnam War. As we all know, when the Vietnamese were fighting the Americans, it lasted from the early 60s until 1973 is when the last American troops pulled out. And this may actually have been the old U.S. Embassy, because this was definitely the headquarters for the resistance of the South Vietnamese against the North Vietnamese. So this place would have been totally crazy in April 1975. That's when the North Vietnamese army came in, and it was just total pandemonium. People were just trying to get out. Vietnamese mothers were handing their babies to these U.S. Marines on the rooftop, on the helicopter. And it was just a crazy, crazy scene. So anyway, quite quiescent today, quite peaceful. Take a look. Yeah, one more thing I just wanted to point out, one little aside. The Vietnamese don't call it the Vietnam War, obviously. They call it the War for Reunification. And just something that's kind of interesting. Behind me here is the War Remnants Museum. Now, according to the guidebook, the original name of this place was the American War Crimes Museum. It should be quite interesting. According to the guidebook, it also said that some of the exhibits are quite grisly. I hope so. That's what I'm paying my 10 cents to get in to see. I want to see some stomach-turning stuff, if at all possible. A bunch of other foreigners were just waiting outside here to get in as well, so we're going to go in and we're going to see some cool stuff. So we just came out of the War Remnants Museum. They wouldn't let us take our camera in there, but we're going to look around. We're in there for about an hour or so. A lot of really good photographs and some tanks and planes and pieces of ordnance just in kind of a central courtyard there. Looks like they're expanding. They've got a main building there with an empty second floor and an empty third floor, so they've got lots of room to put new stuff in there. And definitely a must-see if you're going to come to Saigon. Now we're off to our next place. We found a place with an interesting namesake. This is the Apocalypse Now disco nightclub. And had some interesting decor on the inside, pictures of the movie Apocalypse Now. The ceiling fans were made to look like helicopter blades with helicopters painted on the ceiling. This joint was jumping. A lot of foreigners there, a lot of working girls as well, in case you're into that kind of thing. Beer was not too expensive for the clubs, and overall a pretty good place if you want to party. So next time you're in Ho Chi Minh City, bring your friends. Okay, Two Guys Travel in high definition. This is day 4 of Peter and Kenny's adventures in Ho Chi Minh City. Now imagine you've had a long day, you've walked around the city, you've seen a lot of sights during the day, you've done some shopping, you're tired. It's now after dinner time. And you're not too tired, you want to go out, you want to see what kind of things Saigon nightlife can offer you. Now imagine you're a man, you're a little bit feeling lonely. Well, you know, let's just come out and say it. You're looking for a woman. You're looking for female companionship. You're ready to pay for it. There are plenty of places in Saigon where your needs can be accommodated. One such place is just behind me here, the Tiki Bar Lounge. Kenny and I were walking by this place last night, and yes, I think we got a little bit of attention. There was about half a dozen girls standing there in lovely evening dresses, trying to wave the customers in. We didn't talk to those girls to see what services were available, but we did explore the available services at another bar, which we will show you shortly. Quite interesting. Whatever you want, you got the money, it can be done. Now, last night, Kenny and I were walking around. It was early. We just wanted to get a drink. We just wanted to find a simple bar where we could just kick back, have a couple of beers, just talk about the day's events. So we ended up inadvertently walking into this little place back here called the U2 Bar. Well, very interesting experience. We ended up getting more than just a beer. We each actually got lots of female hands rubbing our bodies continuously for the good 45 minutes or so that we were in there. Let me just explain what happened. First, I walked in. It was like Beatlemania. I was mobbed by a crowd of about 5 or 6 girls. Kenny, same thing. We went over to the bar, we sat down, ordered our beers, and then I had 3 girls, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. Each one was kind of vying for my attention, vying for my affection. Actually, really, they were just vying for what was in my wallet. And Kenny was similarly enjoying himself as well. Now, the girl that I ended up with, well, let me just rephrase that. The girl that I talked to for the bulk of the time that we were in there, the only English she could really speak was go to hotel, boom boom, go to hotel, boom boom. So anyway, it didn't take us too long to kind of put 2 and 2 together and figure out what was going on there. Now, for you horn dogs who are interested in the price list of such available services, at least from what we found out last night, it was $30 to go in the back room, get some oral, $50 US if you want to take the girl to your hotel, boom boom. Don't know exactly how many hours you get for boom boom. You got to cover the taxi fare as well, maybe some incidental charges of some kind, not quite sure. But for you horn dogs that want to check out the seedier side of Ho Chi Minh City, this neighborhood offers lots of opportunities. Self-destructive appetites, dysfunctional contagion.